Hi, everyone. That is Fable Freako by Zeph Daniels. This is Amelia Duran, your host in the Porthole to Justice. And topic, trolls. Wow, they're really coming out of the woodwork. Yesterday, I was really attacked really badly by people I don't even really know. There was one gentleman that several years ago I had to block from the network because of some harassing behavior. I have never met this person, this individual in person. We spoke one time by speakerphone, and this was 2 years ago, and my associate was present, Mr. McGowan. I ended up having to block him from the network a couple of years ago because several moms were complaining that they were paying this individual for work that he never completed, and then he would slander them online. So I confronted this individual, and I asked him, what's this about? And he said, well, I didn't complete the work because they were paying me in nude photos. I thought that was kind of odd. So I went back to these moms. There was several of them, maybe a handful. And they provided me with money transactions and, documents, proof. And so after seeing this behavior, I decided that I needed to block him from the network because I can't have people like that preying on the parents in my network. Since then, I have not had any conversation with this person at all whatsoever. And recently, it became an issue again, almost 2 years later. And I try to be very fair to everyone. If I feel like it's misrepresenting the network or it's negative in some way, or toxic, I don't want people pandering or soliciting fraudulently to the people in my network. So obviously, I am going to take great care in vetting or these types. I do not represent any law firms. I am not involved with representing or vetting cases or doing any referrals. I don't do that. I do have several projects that I'm involved in, and I'm involved in a myriad of activism within my own network, but I am not a member of anybody's group or movement, and I do not do referrals at this point. I have not engaged in any of that or made any kind of deals like that whatsoever at this point. I have a lot on my plate. And then as far as addressing people regarding my shows and my YouTubes, if you don't like my show and you don't like my voice or you don't like the way I look, apparently some people feel this way, don't tune in, don't watch, don't engage. It's that simple. There's a block button, and you can use it just as well as I can use it. So I just wanted to come on and clarify that this individual apparently is an attorney, or I guess he's not an attorney. He has a Better Business Bureau or something. Somebody posted to the port a link to this person who's, he has several complaints, okay, regarding this very same issue. And so I don't know really why all of a sudden I'm being dragged into this. I don't want to engage. I don't know this person. I don't want to know this person. I don't want to engage in any way. And anything further than me blocking you is harassment. It's ridiculous. And apparently, I've been recently been getting a lot of hits, and people are listening to the show and tuning in. I think that's great. I'm thrilled. I think it's fabulous. There's a lot to learn from the content that we socialize and share in the network. I also have the Social Media News Network, where I promote and represent a lot of different platforms, radio shows, and I'm very busy, and I'm not interested in other people's groups or projects, or I'm very focused in what I'm doing. I do work with some people and represent some people, like Philly Slim and what he's doing, his project. I think he's awesome. In the Social Media News Network, I have a bunch of different people that have their own platforms that I represent and promote and do PR for. But it's all positive. None of it's negative. I have Jay Moss, Far From Normal Radio. We've got the Zephyr Report. We've got Kanita's Ramble. We have Human 20 on 20 Project, which is creating awareness about human trafficking globally. So I'm really busy, and I'm very much engaged and involved in the projects inside of my network. My network is very large. We have NWO Freedom Fighters, Australia, Canada, UK. We're global. We have New Earth United. We've got the Dr. Phil. We've got Social Media News Network. We've got Porthole to Justice, myself. So that's a lot. I mean, that's enough to keep me busy to where I really can't get involved in someone else's group or project. More power to you. No problem with it, but I am not engaging. I'm not focused on it. I'm focused on what I'm doing. And I'm not involved with any of those people anymore. I'm not involved with, I've contributed to what I have in the Porthole to Justice is for the children and families. That's my contribution. The activism is my contribution. And I most of what I do is actually behind the scenes. And I like it that way. I originally started the Alternative News Network, where I got a bunch of people, activists together that have platforms, and I do PR. So I'm not really looking to engage in other projects or protest. I don't really think protests work. I'm open to ideas and working with certain individuals that I've vetted for quite some time, and I've watched, and I watch what they do, and I think it's complementary to what we do, and it's a win-win situation for both parties. It's mutual. Other than that, I really don't know who these people are, or who their groups are, or what the groups' names are, or where they keep coming from and coming at me, because it's been years, actually. And like I said, my activism is with Human 2020 now, which is creating awareness about human trafficking globally. That is where my focus is, and also with educating about the fraud on the court, which I also consider to be a form of human trafficking. That is my focus, and I just want to come on and share a little bit about myself and what I do, because a lot of people, I have a lot of new listeners all of a sudden, and I just want to clarify. So you can love me or leave me. I don't know. We have Lunch with Lotus. Lotus has a YouTube channel and a platform herself, and I have Lunch with Lotus every Saturday. She's one of my best friends. I've got New Earth United with Robin Malkowitz, and Sparks of Divine Healing. We've got Lionel Anderson, like I said, NWO Freedom Fighters, and we have the Social Media News Network, which kind of houses everybody's platform, which is really unique and kind of fun. You can check it out. We're on Facebook, and I'm not too much engaged on other platforms. Most of the traffic is on Facebook, my traffic, and our network, which is about 80,000 strong now. So it's a big, huge project, and unless it's something positive and, it's a win-win situation, I'm not really going to be focusing elsewhere. So, and I'm really grateful for all of my listeners and everybody that's tuning in, and all of my new listeners that are tuning in and just joining the show. Wow, thank you so much. It's really awesome. And tune in for Lunch with Lotus this Saturday, noon Central Time. And that's about it, guys. Oh, and then we have 20 on 20. And then on the 19th, I do a midnight prayer for the children and families in the Porthole to Justice. You can tune in for that. And, I will occasionally have shows where I will co-host with other individuals in the network, or I will interview special guests. I've had Lala Fox on. I've had Ted Visner on. I've had Ryan on with Jedi Mind Tricks. I've had on, just a lot of really great activists. I've had Danny McGowan on. There's a lot of interviews that you can go back into the archives, and I encourage you to check them out. Some of them are really informative, especially if you have an open case and you're trying to navigate the children's court process or the family courts. I've got a lot of really neat people on sharing a lot of really cool perspectives. So that is it. All right, guys. This has been another episode of Porthole to Justice Off the Cuff. I'm your host, Amelia Duran, and I'm signing off now. Have a great day.